meet him. I went to Jamaica for like 3 years and never got a chance to like meet him in person. And I mean, to finally meet him at this stage of my life, and it was such an honor.
What do you say?
I mean, I had so many questions to ask him, and one of the main questions I asked was, what's it like to achieve so many things, and what did he do to achieve so many things? And one thing that he said to me was that focusing on what you did to get there, which is training, and not being distracted by having, sometimes when we have so
I broke everything. Those were the words that came out of Julien Alfred's mouth the moment she crossed the finish line. 10.71 seconds in the women's 100 meters. No wind assistance, fully electronic timing. And she did it at a regional championship in Jamaica in front of fewer than 2,000 people. Not at the Olympics, not at Worlds, just a Wednesday afternoon on an island where nobody was expecting this moment to happen. But what happened next, what she said in that interview 20 minutes after crossing the line, made every track official in the sport stop what they were doing. When Usain Bolt heard what she said on that live stream, he posted one thing, just one image, no caption, no defense. We will get to that. But first, you need to understand just how impossible this moment actually is, because 10.71 seconds does not just mean she is fast. It means she is the 5th fastest human being who has ever run 100 meters in recorded history, period. That comparison, 5th of all time, is not a statistic. That is a sentence that should make you stop reading for a second. And Julien Alfred just did it without a single sponsor, without a major federation backing her, and with a coach nobody outside of Caribbean track even knew existed. Julien Alfred grew up in Cascade, St. Lucia, not a place you associate with world-class sprinting. St. Lucia produces tourism revenue and rum exports. It does not produce Olympic-level track athletes. The island has produced maybe 3 international-level sprinters in the last 30 years. The training facilities are functional, not state-of-the-art, just functional. Her mother was a civil servant, her father worked in construction. Neither had connections to track and field. Neither had resources to send her to the United States to train at a D1 program. Neither had the network to get her recruited. What they had was a daughter who looked at the 100-meter sprinters on YouTube, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Carmela de Jeter, the Jamaican relay teams, and decided that was going to be her, not as a dream, as a decision. She started training at a local track club in Castries when she was 11 years old. Public facility, hot as hell. No altitude advantage, no Olympic-level competition in her training group. Just a kid from an island of 180,000 people deciding she was going to compete against sprinters from nations with 300 million people and 50 Olympic training centers. That decision cost her.
When Julien was 16, American universities started recruiting. Not full scholarships, offers. Come train with us. We will help you develop. University of Florida said no after seeing her times. Texas said no. LSU said no. Every school that recruited Caribbean sprinters said the same thing. Your times are good for St. Lucia. Your times are not good enough for us. The message from those programs was clear. You are not good enough for our system. But then comes the part of the story that almost nobody knows. When she was 18, Julien Alfred made a choice that most athletes in her position would not have made. Instead of going to a mid-level college program that would have accepted her, instead of taking a partial scholarship and a team stipend, she chose to stay in St. Lucia and train with a local coach named Clyde Hart. Yes, the same Clyde Hart who coached Michael Johnson to world records, who had retired from international coaching and was only training a handful of athletes in private sessions. No NCAA funding, no team, no facilities beyond what an island nation could provide. Just her and Hart, and a decision to do this her way. That decision meant working a retail job on the weekends to pay for training sessions. That decision meant her mother taking a second job so the family could afford the coaching fees. That decision meant turning down every American university offer and betting everything on one coach in one country that had never produced a female sprinter faster than 10.8. That detail right there is the whole story. Drop it in the comments right now. If you were in Julien's position, would you have made that same choice, or would you have taken the scholarship? I need to know. 3 years later, in the spring of 2024, Julien Alfred ran 10.71 seconds. Let that land. That time, that 10.71, just 3 years prior, her personal best was 10.98. She had gone from a respectable 10.98 to a 10.71. She erased 27 hundredths of a second in 3 years of solo training on an island without the federation support that every other top female sprinter in the world receives. 10.71.
But here is what that number actually means against the best sprinters alive. If Julien Alfred had run that time at the 2023 World Championships in Budapest, she would have finished third in the final. Third. Not behind American sprinters, not behind European sprinters. Third against every woman on Earth who trained their entire life to be fast. Third in the world. Think about what that actually means. There are roughly 4 billion women on this planet. 4 billion. And on a given day in a given race, maybe 5 of them can run faster than 10.71. Maybe 5. And one of them just happens to be from a Caribbean island of 180,000 people.
This is the part that changes everything about how we understand female sprinting. Julien Alfred became the fastest female sprinter in Caribbean history. Not second fastest, not tied, fastest, ever. That is not a small achievement. That is a historic achievement that puts her in a completely different category than every athlete from her region who came before her. She did not just break a Caribbean record, she broke a ceiling that nobody thought could be broken from an island this size. But that is not the only barrier she broke. She became the first athlete from a non-English speaking Caribbean nation to crack the 10.7-second barrier in the women's 100 meters. Every other woman in that club, every single one, came from Jamaica or the United States. The infrastructure gap, the coaching gap, the resources gap, all of it suggested that Julien Alfred should not be in that conversation, but she is. That is not just a personal best, that is a historic fact. That is the kind of performance that changes how we understand what is possible in track and field. 20 minutes after she crossed that finish line, the live stream was still rolling. A local reporter asked her one question: how does it feel? And instead of the standard answer, I am grateful, I worked hard, I believed in myself, Julien Alfred said something that broke the internet. She looked directly into the camera and said, Usain Bolt ran his whole career saying he was the fastest human being on the planet, but he was running in a time when the sport was different. If he ran now, with modern training, modern science, modern competition, where would he actually rank? He would not be what the world thinks he is. That is not disrespect. That is just sport evolution, and I am proof that evolution does not stop. She did not say his name with anger. She said it with the tone of someone stating a fact, the same tone a physicist uses to explain gravity. When Usain Bolt saw that clip, he did not tweet. He did not call a press conference. He simply reposted the interview with one image, a photo of him at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, the moment he set the world record. No caption, just the image. Track world erupted. Los Angeles 2028 is less than 2 years away. Julien Alfred will be 26 years old. That is the exact age Florence Griffith Joyner was when she set the women's 100-meter world record. That is not coincidence. That is a window. And Julien Alfred, training on an island, coached by a retired legend, bankrolled by her mother's second job, is about to walk into the Olympics on American soil, where the entire world will be watching to see if she can become the first Caribbean female sprinter to medal in the 100 meters. Does she run faster than 10.65 at the Olympic final? Does she actually challenge the world record? Drop it below. And if you want to see what Bolt says in response to all of this, because trust me, he is about to say something, subscribe right now. We are covering this.